What's up, gamers? We just got done live streaming the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. There's our hero Mario right there. Except, is he our hero? I don't know, because I went to take a shower, get ready for work after the Direct, and now we have all this crazy information coming out, and we're about to get into it. It's not great, but before we get to that, would you please like and subscribe? It really helps me out a lot. And here we go. It is time to talk about this price right here. Game prices were not announced in the Nintendo Direct. They put it up on their website afterwards. Mario Kart World is $80, and that is for the digital version. The physical version is $90. Nintendo, I don't know what you're thinking. This is bad idea genes right here. This is just bad. I cannot imagine a world where you're going to sell 30 million copies of the next Animal Crossing game at $90 a pop or $80 a pop. You know, I kept saying the whole presentation, they've thought this out. They've thought this through so well. They've really prepared. They've done their research. They've done the hard work. It was worth the wait. And then I was so distracted by all the new shiny things that I missed some stuff while it was happening. I missed like the fact that they showed no prices. I missed the fact that they didn't talk about the price of the console or the games. The upgrades from Switch 1 games, which are going to be available, they have that on the website as well. How much are those going to cost? Is it $10? Is it $20? Is it $30? It might be $30 to upgrade your game from Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Switch 1 version is, to the Metroid Prime 4 Switch 2 version is. If it's $60 on Switch 1 and $90 on Switch 2, it makes sense for it to be $30 upgrade. That's going to be terrible. And this game does launch June 5th. The console launches June 5th. The presentation I thought was really, really good. And so I'm not trying to be negative. In fact, I always end my videos saying, stay kind and encouraging out there. And I hope that people will stay kind to Nintendo and not get too overboard and off the rails here. But even the price of the Switch 2 itself was a little bit of a shock. I think most people were hoping for $400. I predicted $429.99. If you get it with Mario Kart, it's $499.99, as you can see there. If you get it without Mario Kart, it's $449.99, so $450. And it's just, with Mario Kart being $80, you might as well get the bundle while it lasts and save yourself $30 because that's a better deal. But this just seems very not Nintendo. The last time we saw this happen, in fact, I believe was the Nintendo 64. One of the reasons that console didn't sell as well as the PlayStation is because the games were more expensive. And that's because they used cartridges. Which kind of brings me to another point. Something I saw on X was this right here. How this works. Insert the game key card into the system, and then here, download the game. The game itself isn't included on the game key card, so you'll have to download it before you can play. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean you're paying $10 extra just for that card? Like you're buying an SD card? Is that what that means? Now that could be kind of cool because you could, if the game all goes on the actual card, because they mentioned in the Direct that it has higher data transfer speeds and that these cards will only work on Switch 2, not Switch 1. But if the game's not on there, what's the point of that? Unless the game's being downloaded to the actual card from the internet, in which case you could get the most updated, patched version of the game that would be saved on a card physically that you could keep instead of, it being digital and maybe it becoming not available at some point on the store. So that could be cool, but this is really weird. They didn't mention it in the Direct at all. I expected it to go to $70 because Tears of the Kingdom was $70. And all the other consoles, their games are $70. And even on PC now, games are, most of the time, $70. But $80 and $90? Nintendo, this is just a bad idea. So why are they doing this? I don't know. If the cards have a higher transfer speed, higher data speeds, that's one reason to have to charge more for the cartridges. I'm not sure why that means that the digital version has to cost that much. But Maybe they just want to keep some parity there. I don't know, but I applaud them for making the digital and physical versions different prices, because I've always thought, why are digital versions the same price anyway? I mean, there's no manufacturing or shipping cost involved in a digital copy of a movie, music, or a game. And for the last 20 years, I've thought, why are these the same price? So I am glad to see that, but it's just too much. It's just too much. And also, are the third-party developers going to do this as well? I mean, we've got Cyberpunk coming. We've got Elden Ring coming. Are people going to buy $80 versions of those games just to play them on the Switch? I don't think so. I just can't see that happening. So this is very bizarre. Now, I will say about the price of the system being $450, $499, I'm not as surprised about that. But I do want to point out that one of the ways they said they were going to combat scalping, and one of the ways they're doing that is through their website. You can pre-register to get a spot to order the console. And I think that this is pretty smart. I was wondering how they were going to do this. So if you go to their main page and you scroll down a little bit, it's going to say how to buy Nintendo Switch 2, register your interest to buy from My Nintendo Store. So you're going to click learn more. And I've already done this, but see, my registration was submitted already. But you'll have two options to pick the bundle or just the Switch 2 itself. And then you just click register. Like, it's really easy. You have to log into your My Nintendo account. But after that, you just pick the one you want and hit register. Super easy. And so what it's going to do is email me when it becomes available for purchase. The first batch of invitations will go out around May 8th. Initial invitation emails will be delivered on a first-come, first-served basis to eligible registrants who meet the priority criteria. Invitees will have 72 hours from the time when the email is sent to complete their purchase. And here's the priority requirements. You must have been the one who purchased any Nintendo Switch Online membership. You must have any paid Switch Online membership for a minimum of 12 months, and you must have opted in to share gameplay data and have at least 50 hours total gameplay hours. So that's how they're combating the bots, because bots aren't going to have all of this stuff. And that actually makes me wonder if I've even opted in to share gameplay data. I don't know that I did that or not. I don't remember that part, but so I need to check on that. But those are pretty strict requirements. And the fact that you have to have a Nintendo Switch Online membership, oh man, I don't even know what to think about that. Obviously, you're going to be able to go into a retail store and buy this, which is another way to do it that prevents scalpers from just sending out that bot that's going to buy up 20 consoles or 50 consoles and then they put them on eBay, you know. But if you're going to buy it online, it looks like, at least for right now, you're going to have to meet these requirements, which is nuts. But some of the good stuff that we saw from the Direct, you know, I love that Metroid Prime 4 is going to have a 4K 60 and 1080p 120 hertz option that you can pick which one you want. That is so cool to see that. And Switch 2 is going to have 4K support. I love that. The fact that the screen itself on the handheld is 1080p, I love that. And 120 hertz and has HDR. It'll be interesting to see how well the HDR is implemented, but 120 hertz refresh rate on the handheld itself is really, really cool. The mouse functionality seems pretty cool too. In fact, they showed off playing Metroid Prime 4 with mouse support. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, playing a console game with a mouse that is your controller, and they like clicking the bumper and stuff to shoot. That was kind of cool. The Donkey Kong Bonanza game blew my mind. Like, all of the destructible environments and everything going on in that game looks so good. Mario Kart World, one of the things I was on the podcast with the guys talking about Mario Kart and what's going to be different about it. Like, how's they going to distinguish it between Mario Kart 8, which has been around for so long and it already has so much to it. How do you do more? And I said, well, one thing they could do is they could just put you in a world where you can drive around anywhere you want and then enter races when you get to certain markers and things. And it looks like I was right about that. That is how they're doing it. So being able to drive around this huge world, and just even like with the voice chat and the video chat, you can drive around with friends in this world and just hang out and talk. Like, that's a really cool idea. And so I'm excited to see that and play that. And I'm happy that we don't have to use a silly app on a phone to voice chat anymore. I am worried about how the one single microphone on the Switch itself, which is going to be docked all the way over by your TV, how that's going to really pick up your voice and pick it up well. We'll see, I guess, or hear how well that works. The camera accessory is, I can't see many people buying that, I guess. I don't know how well that's going to be implemented or used. You're going to need it, actually, it looked like, for some mini games in Mario Party, which is a little weird, but maybe they'll do a bundle with that too, where you can buy Mario Party with the microphone for a reduced price or something. Not the microphone, the camera for a reduced price. There were a lot of other things though that we didn't see, and some of that was just more first party stuff. They're doing these Switch 2 versions of existing Switch 1 games that have new content. A lot of them have new story content, and that's a great idea to help get them just off and running in this generation, and to help people reduce your cost of getting games that look great on your new Switch 2 and having some new content to play, like in Kirby Forgotten Lands. It has a whole new story section, a whole new story mission. It wasn't really clear how expansive that is, but it is brand new content for that game, as well as better resolution and frame rate and stuff on that game. So there's really cool stuff like that happening. And I do think overall, just seeing the third-party support that they had, we saw Silksong, we saw Cyberpunk, we saw Elden Ring, we saw, I can't even remember. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we saw. So third-party support seems like it's there, and we know first-party support's going to come. I think that the real major thing that I'm just upset about is the fact that this game is going to cost, the games are going to cost $90 or $80 digital. Nintendo is notorious for not lowering their prices very often. So, most of the time they would put stuff on sale that was $60, they'd put it on sale for like $41 something. It was not even really $30, it was like 30% off or something like that. So if you do 30% off of $90, then your game is $60 still on sale. On sale. That's what we used to pay full price. So I don't know, Nintendo. So I can see a couple of outcomes here. Either the backlash is so bad that they're like, okay, all future DLC comes completely free. Yeah, it costs more, but you're going to get DLC for free. I don't think that'll really happen. The other thing is they could just backtrack. I mean, all this is right now is numbers on graphics, and they could simply update their graphics. There's not that many of them so far, and just say, you know what? We hear you. We messed up. Games are $70. And they could fix it that quick. Tomorrow, this might be a nothing burger. But for today, this is shocking, shocking news after an excellent Direct. And I just don't understand what Nintendo is thinking. But hey, remember to stay kind and encouraging out there. Let's not get too heated or jump to too many conclusions all at once. I think it's okay to vent our frustration and to discuss these things. We just don't want to attack anybody. But thanks for watching, liking, subscribing. I appreciate all of you. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flippity flip.